Hi, thank you for joining me today. I'm actually very excited to hear more about boys lacrosse. So, you're a senior this year.
I am.
Do you have more of kind of an advantage now being one of the older guys on the lacrosse team?
Yeah, it's definitely nice having been around the program for a couple years. I kind of know what to expect in terms of having late practices, all the road trips, and everything, being able to balance my schoolwork on top of lacrosse and just being able to kind of teach the younger kids how to go about, being a club athlete. It's a little bit different than an NCAA program just in terms of the support we get from the school itself. And like I said, late practices, have to balance school and you're on the road a lot. So I definitely enjoy being older and kind of knowing what's going on.
Do you get any perks, like you don't have to do all the workouts or it's
Uh,
harder?
no, I have to do everything. Kind of as a senior, the expectation is you do things a little bit more further than you did maybe as a young kid. Kind of have to set an example of being a leader, being, an older guy, being one of the guys who's gonna sort of like push the program forward. So I'd say there's more scrutiny on you as an older guy than a younger guy, for sure.
Okay, so your team just won last year the 2018 MCLA National Championship game. What was it like winning that game, and what did it take for you and for your team members to kind of get to that point?
Yeah, so that was awesome. The program's never won one before. It was definitely like moved the entire sort of Michigan State lacrosse program up a level. Going in, we'd had a really successful season, but no one thought we had any shot at winning at all. There's a lot of preference to West Coast lacrosse and club lacrosse. So we got out to Utah, had a good draw, ended up winning our first two games on back-to-back days, and then played probably one of the best teams in the whole tournament in the semifinals, and just probably played our best game of the season, which was really cool to see just all the guys coming together, enjoying themselves. We had a really strong senior class, and it was great to sort of win for them and go about it, in the right way, just playing for each other, playing for the team, having fun winning. All the shots fell our way. We were just working well together, coming off these losses, these past couple games. It's definitely nice to kind of look back on what that team had and how we got to that point. And then for me personally, it was just, I was a junior, so I wasn't quite, I was an upperclassman, but I wasn't a senior in a leadership position. So I was just really enjoying playing with my friends. It was nice to accomplish that as a team, but also personally to add that to sort of my resume, so to speak, of lacrosse accomplishments. And to beat some teams that didn't think we had a shot at beating them, or really the entire MCLA thinking we had a shot at winning, was nice to kind of prove them wrong, both personally and from a team perspective.
What's it like now preparing, knowing that you guys did just win that this season?
Yeah, so, I mean, in any sport, back-to-back, like winning a back-to-back championship is probably the most difficult thing, and we're struggling through that right now. We lost our head coach in the off-season. We have a new one. We lost a very strong senior class. So we've been trying to rebuild. It's been a slow process. You can kind of look back on that team and see what you did well and how to bring that to your current team, but also you have to sort of forget about what you did last season. It's a new team, new year. You have to work with the group you've got to win again. And every game you go into, you've just got a target on your back. Every team wants to beat you. Every team wants to play you. So, coming in as an underdog last season, I think helped us, and we're not an underdog anymore, and that's kind of been something that's changed within our program, and to adapt to that has been a bit of a struggle so far because we've lost some games.
You said earlier that balancing, now that you're a senior, you kind of know how to like balance lacrosse with school, with social life. What is like a little more in depth on that? Like what's that like having to go to practice every day on top of
Yeah.
having exams?
So, it's year round, so even in the fall and the spring, you've got lacrosse, both semesters. We get the worst practice times just because all of the varsity sports at the school get preference to us, so we practice late at night. So for that matter, you get kind of used to getting your homework done before practice, and like once practice is over, generally not going to get a lot done. You can if you want, but so you kind of get into the groove of class during the day, then you have a gap after class until practice, get done what you can. The fall it's a little more lax in terms of time commitment, so you can sort of get used to your classes, spend more time with social life and friends. And then once the spring hits, we're definitely on the road a lot more, and that's the biggest struggle in terms of getting things done. So you'll miss class, you might have to move exams, you might be coming back from a weekend of lacrosse and have an exam first thing. So it's just sort of like knowing what's upcoming, being in contact with your professors. Hopefully they're relaxed about it. That's another kind of strange aspect of club lacrosse, is some professors just don't really accept club sports as an excuse like they would a varsity athlete, so that can cause some problems as well. but just being aware of what you have, communicating with your professors, and then being on top of everything is definitely important. And not everyone's successful. Kids drop off the team every year for not keeping up with their schoolwork, so it's pretty difficult.
Now, what's your favorite place that you've... Oh, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
Of
I really
course.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.